So here's the output running Sharp View exec. So this is another tool. This is more C# focus instead of PowerShell. So they're able to go through and dump the account for Slavi, and you can see the password down here is welcome123. So you can turn around and use these to dump credentials. And so some of these same things can be used, similar type of techniques can be used internally. Well, I guess this actually they're going through on-prem AD. So these are helpful even outside of a cloud pen test. So something equivalent to Power View or Sharp View for ADD for Azure Active Directory. I'm not sure if there's anything similar to that or not. We'll be going over some other different scripts specific to that, but I'm sure there are as far as just exact identical. And I would think some of these people that are doing that. So Mike Dunn says Rubios. And a lot of the C# tools have become popular. So here's some different these different tools here. So search users, like some of the PowerShell tools, like the PowerSploit, and some of those have a lot of different tools that are good for searching. So this one kind of shows you the script that you're using for that. And so you can search groups and search users. And so some of the more Active Directory state of the art attacks are your curb roasting, AS reprost. Let's see, ASRE posting, ASREP posting. Yeah, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but then curb roast delegation attacks, unconstrained delegation, constrained delegation, resource-based delegation, and group policy preferences. There's a lot of things there that's for the on-prem. So there's a lot of, there's more resources out there as far as attacking Active Directory that you can research out there. And browser pivots, another attack. And so this shows how you're able to pivot through Google Chrome using this attack. And so we go through here, we'll go look into more details on this attack. So browser pivot through Chrome. So say if you have the option to use Cobalt Strike's browser pivot module installed, so it's much cleaner. So not everyone has access to Cobalt Strike. So here's some tools here. Let's see, just a recommendation, don't run shoddy code for some random on the internet. So like Thunder Chrome and enumerate Chrome tabs are some tools that they have listed there. And Azure service principles. Yeah, I've heard of Kerbrute. Actually mentioning curb roasting, and we mentioned Tim Medine earlier, the creator of curb roasting. So this shows the Azure service principles, how that works. So you see your Azure Active Directory, and so you see your service principal, and you see your projects in Visual Studio connecting. And you also see your Azure subscription, resource group, web app, and then the Azure web app. Yeah, actually, it's interesting because last year he actually reached out to me for a job at his company because I was during a job search last year, and I don't know. Part of the reason I was just kind of I don't know. I did the first interview and kind of declined because for what I was making at the time, yeah, with Red Siege, I was making more money than people make in this region that I'm in, and I really worried about going in at a high salary. I liked him, and I didn't want to go in, and I was just kind of kind of imposter syndrome. I was really kind of worried about being able to perform at that level, so I didn't actually interview any further because I actually had the first initial interview. It would have been, as far as pen testing, it would have been a dream job, but I even had said that I would even take a pay cut, but he didn't want to pay me any less. He didn't want me to have to take a pay cut to come to work there. So, but yeah, that would have, that would have been a good experience. But ultimately, where I ended up more in the teaching role, I've kind of really enjoying that. So, but it would have been a great opportunity. Yeah, it still worked out good because a lot of the things I like doing, workshops, webinars, community stuff, teaching, and all that this really worked out for me. It would have been hard to find a job that was a better fit. For me, making the pivot into teaching, I'm a power lifter and I've competed for many years, and over the years I've had to compete in my age category because it gets hard to keep up. I used to compete in open division and it was hard to keep up. And then kind of the same thing with hacking and being a pen tester, trying to keep up with all that is tough. And so I kind of came to the conclusion last year or maybe before that the world needs mentors and teachers and coaches. And I feel like I fill that role better than I do a consultant, and even better than I can do the pen testing role. But I feel like I'm a better coach and mentor and teacher. So sometimes you need to play to your strengths and go into that. And it just took some time for me to come to that conclusion and realize that's the path that I should follow. So yeah, it's interesting that knowing Michael from the community and stuff. I don't even remember where I first met you, Michael. Where did we first come in contact? Yeah, it's kind of tough to remember because I don't know if it was Twitter or LinkedIn first, or if it was like virtually at a conference, because I do conference workshops and conference talks. So that's just kind of like there's a guy local out of San Antonio that I keep running into on streams. Actually, there's a instructor from the University of, I think they changed the name of the college, but it used to be UMUC, that he actually attended some of the workshops I did for conferences virtually in San Antonio. And we kind of communicate back and forth. And it's pretty interesting because a really good friend of mine teaches for UMGC. So a good friend of mine teaches at that college, and he actually, and this is his manager, he actually attended some of my workshops. Oh, that's good that you attend there. I think it looks like a good program. One of the programs when I was looking at possibly going back to school was their application security program, because they covered some development as well as, application security. So they didn't just jump in purely security. You actually had to do some development too. So that one was really interesting. So that concludes what I'm presenting today. So if we have any questions, we'll open it up for questions or comments. And we'll continue on tomorrow. But like I said, we'll get into more of the hands-on stuff. I think sometimes, there's Cody. Thank you. I like to refer to myself sometimes as some people call themselves serial entrepreneurs, and I refer to myself sometimes as a serial mentor. Thanks, George. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And to give props to Tracy, had a hand in this, and Slavi was the one that created this content. So it was a really great job. Whenever he came up with the idea of this content, everyone was really excited about it. So this is just kind of giving you a glimpse of what there is to come at I&E. They're looking at what the industry is doing, and we're starting to focus on those directions because, cloud's a big thing. You got to be able to secure it. You got to be able to test it. So that's what we're looking at. So thanks for all the good questions. I really enjoy the interaction. And if you ever have any comments on courses that you'd like to see or any recommendations on our current content, we're always looking for our student, I would say customer, but your students. So we're always looking for our student feedback to improve on the quality of our content. So Anthony has the question. We'd stop the scroll. Were any of the other boot camps ever posted for review somewhere in I&E? I will be missing a good amount of Friday and would like to be able to review. So yeah, the boot camps will be posted back up. They will, the boot camps will be posted, the recordings. And then also too, there's the course that this was based on will be coming available too. So thanks for the good comments, everyone. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. This is kind of a new place for me to get into the Azure realm. I did do my first Azure pen test back in December and January of this year. So that was a lot of fun. And so I'm wanting to learn more about that too. So I'll be going through learning more of the content that Tracy has produced for us here as well. So anonymous attendee, would it please be possible at all for the slides in advance of editing? I'm not sure. I'll have to find out whether they'll be able to. I'm probably thinking they probably won't offer the slides until after the course. But one of the things, all these links that I'm sharing, make sure to note those, because a lot of these resources is where Slavi developed the course from those links. So those links can be helpful for you until the videos posted up for the boot camp. Michael Dunn says, does ELS have a new cloud cert? I am not aware if they do or not. If they have one, I could see that happening. One of the things too is, there's been, so I could see certifications coming from other areas outside of just cybersecurity too. So Zed said, off topic, is there any way to download I&E PowerPoints and PDF? Okay, so yeah, we just kind of answered that question. No, we won't be able to. As far as the online content, I'm not sure if you can download those or not. So thanks. Someone was nice enough to post the links. Thank you, Ahmed. Heiko said, do you have more info about the future of I&E security training? I can say that, the red team stuff will evolve and we'll add more to it. But one of the things to look for too is there really hasn't been as much of the blue team content. And so we've got someone that's a expert threat hunter that's producing content. We've got people that are really experienced in incident response and digital forensics. We have people that are traditional blue teamers. So yeah, there'll be a lot more content. I can't really say for sure what those are yet, or whether I can share those yet. So just kind of be on the lookout. I&E will be announcing when those new courses come out. Yeah, Michael, that's a good thing. That's a bad thing about content in some places where it's hosted, it's too easily pirated. I didn't realize how fast things get pirated until I published a book, because my Pentester Blueprint book, within a week or two of it being published, it was available. The PDF was available online. You're welcome, Michael, and you're welcome, Ibrahim, and everyone. that has said thanks, and thanks for your comments. I love the interaction, and I really love when people share their experiences and resources, because I'm an instructor and I don't know it all. So, and anytime you've got something to interject or share, more than happy to hear it. And if you're not connected with me on LinkedIn or Twitter, feel free to connect, because I am always happy to connect with people. And I answer questions a lot there. At the first, I actually had my LinkedIn link up there, but I will post it up here again in case anyone wants to connect. And then I'm also on Twitter. And so if you connect with me on Twitter, kind of let me know where you know me from, because I'm kind of sometimes you have to be more careful about who you follow back on Twitter than the connections that the people you connect with on LinkedIn. And there's my Twitter information. Yeah, this has been great. Been a really good class. This has really been interactive, and especially for the first day. So yeah, one of the things I encourage people to is when you're doing these boot camps, you're doing virtual workshops, you're doing different virtual trainings and stuff on Discord, connect with other people. Networking is one of the best ways to actually get jobs and to share resources. Back early in my pen test career, and I still got people I share resources with that we would share resources, different pen testing resources. So, you think about if you've got some study partners and you're learning these different techniques, if you've got 20 people looking, you're going to find more information than just one or two people are going to find. So Zaid says, what are some of the Discord channels to join and help network? Actually, cyber insecurity is a good one. So if anyone has any good Discords, if you could post those channels up, that would be great. So cyber insecurity is a good one. Like some of the different villages from DEF CON, like the Red Team Village, the IoT Village from DEF CON. Let's see, what else? The unofficial eLearn security Discord is a good one as well. The unofficial INE eLearn security Discord, that's a good one. So Marcos has got a tricky question for me, but what advice would you give to someone that with embedded IoT backend development trying to move into pen testing, application security careers? Yeah, what I would recommend there is, learn how to exploit those devices and assess the security. That's a very popular area, and there's like not a lot of pen testers that are really strong in that area. So if you know IoT and embedded systems, then you could like pen test ATM machines. You can work in ICS environments and that sort of thing. So, learn how to reverse engineer some of that stuff. And I'm trying to think who. There's a really good person on Twitter to follow, and she's really into the ARM area, ARM deployment. She's even got a book coming out for Wiley Publishing. I'm going to post this up in the. But she has, I think she may even have some stuff related to ARM on her website. And like I said, she's got a book, or maybe one or two book contract with Wiley Publishing that's coming out. Yeah, she's good. And I think if you go to her website, she's got like a lot of free stuff on there too. They got some different tutorials. So I'm just going to post this up in the. Georgia Weedman's good, but yeah, I think Maria's Azaria's real name. She's really heavy into the embedded stuff. Yep. she had like a 2-book contract with Wiley Publishing. So yeah, thanks for all the good questions. And after this boot camp is over with, still feel free to reach out to me. I love to hear from students. It's kind of like I tell my students at Dallas College: once my student, always my student. So always feel free, and you can even reach me on my INE email address as well, if email is your mode of communication. So you can reach me there. So yeah, thanks again for everyone that joined, and thanks for all the great questions. Yeah, Dead Pixel is a good one too. I follow them. And also Tiberius has one that he had recommended to me. And it used to be like the OSCP study group, but now I think it's InfoSec Prep. So it's okay. I got Discord open, so there's an invite to one of the Discords that Tiberius administers. So I don't know if this is one he started, but Tiberius is a good one to follow. So that is one I would recommend. Yeah, we probably are. And then the Mini Hats Club is kind of an interesting one. The different bug bounty communities, if you're interested in bug bounty, NahamSec has a good one. NahamSec is from HackerOne. He does a lot of YouTube videos on bug bounty. And so as you sign up for a lot of these virtual conferences, you'll get invited. Okay, so TJ Knoll started one. TJ Knoll's a good one to follow. I actually got to meet him at the 2019 DEF CON. Yeah, he hooked me up with a lot of nice swag, some stickers, and even gave me like it was like a customized alpha adapter for Wi-Fi pen testing. Yes, yeah, I would say most of the links on here, people you should be able to trust, because it's only. But out in a lot of other places, you might be a little more careful. Outside of like this boot camp and so far. So, does anyone else have any more questions or comments? Yeah, Texas Cyber Summit, that's a good one, which happens to be the same people as the Red Team Village. Well, everyone, you're welcome, and thanks for all the good comments. I'm glad everyone enjoyed the boot camp. Good to see a lot of familiar people and good to see some new people. So, like I said, connect with me on LinkedIn. I'd be happy to connect with you. And I'm constantly answering questions on the people that are trying to get started in security. And as some people here can attest, people that are looking for jobs, sometimes I will share your LinkedIn profile that you're looking for a job and that sort of thing. If you have questions, I've reviewed people's resumes for them. And so, yeah, this is kind of mentoring and teaching are my passions. And sometimes I don't get much of a break. It's something that goes on all the time, but I enjoy it. Well, thanks everyone. I think since we don't have any more questions, we will go ahead and stop the webinar for today, or the boot camp, and we'll see you next time.